All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Scott Hutzbeth. I'm here on Redder Live with my dear friend Jason Klaskin with Annie Mac Home Mortgage, Divisional Sales Manager with Annie Mac. And this is a sensitive topic. So we're going to tread lightly. We're going to share the some information about it. Jason has done extensive research on this and has shared it with his team. And I thought, man, what a better guy to have on here than talk about something that we all are going to be affected by in this industry. And that's the new FHA ruling that just came out. What was it, Jason? 2 days ago?
Yep, 2 days ago.
Yes, sir. So, Jason, I appreciate you being here, man, and I appreciate you sharing all this work you've done on this topic and how you're just a giver and a great guy. And I've really enjoyed spending the last well, I don't know, we spent 2-3 hours together the last couple of weeks, and it's been very very productive. I get chills thinking about some things that you're doing and what we have coming and all this stuff. So I appreciate you and I appreciate your team. But without further ado, hey, tell us a little bit about you, and let's share what's going on with FHA.
Yeah, just really quickly. As you said, I'm a divisional sales manager with Annie Mac, and basically my job is to do four things that I focus on. One is to help loan officers put another loan in their pipeline each month. Number two is to help them with more work-life balance. Number three, be more efficient. Number four, make more money. So that kind of everything I do, everything I'm involved with revolves around those four things for our loan officers. So,
And if I'm not mistaken, you've been doing this for a really long time. Uber successful. People go up to you, respect you, and you do an amazing job of what you do. So congratulations on bringing massive value to the industry. So I appreciate your input on that.
Thank you. Right back at you.
Yeah, thanks,
So
man.
you want me to just jump in and
yeah, let's talk about this FHA ruling. What is it, and who does it affect?
Yeah, so there was an FHA, what they call a mortgagee letter, which is an update from HUD saying that there were going to be some changes to the guidelines for what are acceptable borrowers for FHA loans. And then there also were some announcements from FHFA, which is confusing. FHFA is basically the overarching organization for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are the conventional loans. So you've got the FHA Govy and you've got the conventional loans. So different announcements for each of them. The FHA mortgagee letter, which basically says this is what's happening with FHA from here forward, said that effective for case numbers acquired on or after May 25th, and I'll explain what that means in a second. Case numbers that are acquired on or after May 25th, they will no longer be allowing either anybody that does not have permanent resident alien status or is a U.S. citizen to be able to get an FHA loan. So basically what they're saying is anyone that's on a visa, a non-permanent resident alien, anyone that has applied for permanent resident alien status but has not yet acquired it, all of those people will no longer be eligible for an FHA loan after that May 25th deadline, which acquiring a case number requires that you have a property under contract. So that's the big kicker for the May 25th deadline. And got some thoughts on that maybe we'll talk about a little bit later. So that's the FHA announcement that came out.
Gotcha. So you have to be a U.S. citizen, or you have to be with a green card.
Correct.
Like you can't be in process. You can't be applying. Okay, all that stuff.
No. And if you currently have an FHA mortgage and you want to refi it, and you're not a permanent resident alien or a citizen, they won't let you refi it. They're not going to take away your mortgage, but you're not going to be able to refi with an FHA loan. So
okay. Yep. And this just affects FHA loans.
For this announcement, actually USDA, which are rural loans, put out an announcement last week, kind of went under the radar, but USDA loans as well. The one thing to keep in mind is that when you see one agency do something, it's not uncommon to see other agencies do that. So we're going to talk a little bit about some opportunities here. So it's not just bad news. We're just sharing the info right now, right? But I want to talk about some opportunities here.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to just keep an eye out to see if any future announcements come out about other changes. Back in 2008 and back in COVID, things were flying fast and furious, and we would get updates all the time. I don't know that it's going to be like that, but we definitely, as an industry, if we want to be knowledgeable and be of value to our referral partners and to our customers, we really need to be on top of those things. And that's where, you doing this is, I think, super helpful for folks.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about that May 25th date. Tell me about that. What is that like? What like exactly what do I need to do as a loan officer or mortgage company? Like, what do I need to do to make sure? Do I have to close it by the 25th? Do I have to have like what does that mean? On a
Yes.
this separate it by purchase or refi.
Yep, absolutely. So again, this is just the FHA part. We're going to talk about the Fannie Freddie part here shortly. But that May 25th deadline is when you get an FHA loan. Behind the scenes, the lender has to get what's called an FHA case number assigned to that loan to that property. That's one of the reasons why if somebody gets an appraisal on an FHA property and it comes in low, that is one of the ways that they track that to make sure that somebody doesn't do another appraisal sometime in the next 120 days and all of a sudden come up with a much higher value. It tracks the property and the buyer. So that registration tells HUD or the FHA program that you're moving forward with a loan. You don't have to close the loan. However, you can't get a case number without the property address for just the reason I mentioned with the appraisal.
Okay.
So if you are a loan officer or if you are a realtor, there is a huge opportunity right now to not tell people that maybe you're in this position with the residency status, you can't get a loan. To me, I would say, let's get out there, let's get shopping, and let's try and get under contract prior to May 25th. So you don't have to close by May 25th. You have to have that case number by May 25th.
Awesome.
I would also, if I were a realtor, probably look at calling some of the folks that are on the fence with listing their property. I don't think this is going to affect a huge swath of the population. Some loan officers and realtors work specifically with non-resident buyers, so obviously it'll affect them. So if I had people that were thinking about listing and I was a realtor, I might say this might be a good time to push that listing ahead because there might be some more demand in the short term that you might be able to take advantage of. So just some opportunities with that May 25th date that people could take advantage of.
Yeah, and if you have anybody that's been, and you and I talked about this the other day, if you have anybody sitting on the fence that you haven't talked to in a while, that's like, I'm just gonna wait for rates. I'm just gonna probably a great idea to call them and let them know about this if they were like stuck with having to go FHA, Fannie Freddie. So okay, cool. All right,
absolutely. So really, that is something that we recommended for our loan officers to do, and they're doing, which is being proactive about this, right? They're not waiting till someone goes under contract and then all of a sudden saying, oh my gosh, you can't get a loan. We are actively identifying those borrowers and making sure that we get them approved with a different program. We're fortunate. We have a lot of different programs that we can put people in that this FHA, new FHA guideline probably won't restrict that many people because we have so many good programs that we can put them in, but we want to do that proactively. We want to let our realtor partners know. And most importantly, we want to let the borrowers know so that we can make sure they've got a bona fide offer and the agents are out there spending their valuable time with qualified buyers.
Yeah, and I want to put out there that this is this is everyone. So everyone is going through this. So if you're listening to this, if you're hearing this and you have a database of people or you've done a bunch of these loans and you've closed on them, this would be an amazing time. And the rates have trickled down, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the rates have trickled down a little bit. There's some great debt consolidation programs that are available through FHA. So you could look at that, doing them for these people. Talk to me about talk to me about a refi. Do I have to close by then or just
no,
be
same
in the
thing.
process?
You just get the case number. Yep.
Okay.
Now just understand, I always throw out this caveat, just understand that there may be things that come up from a guideline perspective where an investor or someone may say, you have to close within 60 days of getting that case number. That is not uncommon. So
Yeah.
just be aware that there may be dates moved because of appetite of people on the secondary market. So we just want to keep up to date on that. Keep an eye on the news. Make sure you have a good, valuable resource that can share that information with you when those updates happen, if they do. So just something to be cautious about.
Yeah, and we wanted to mention too that this isn't a we're not trying to make this a political thing. And I think you wanted to say that, like, whether you're right or left, it's just, this is what's happening. We're trying to bring you the news, good news, bad news, however you want to look at it. We just want to make sure that you're aware. I mean, we're all in business, we're all marketers, and Jason and I were talking about this the other day. We're going to find ways to help whoever it is that wants to get into home ownership. So we're not worried about that. We just want you to know about FHA, and it's one less avenue you get to go down with this particular borrower. So
exactly. And like you said, we all are standing in front of the store shelf with the same thing to sell, right? This affects everybody across the country, every lender, every realtor. So we're all going to be in this together. So my philosophy is, let's look for opportunities here. And the sky is not falling. This is not a enormous percentage of people in the overall market. But again, it will affect some people a little more strongly if that is a target market for them, both as realtors and lenders. So,
gotcha. So just to recap, because I want everybody to be very clear. If it was me, I would be calling over the weekend. We're playing this right now at 12 o'clock on Friday. It's the 28th. I would be calling people today, tomorrow, like every single day. Make sure, because here's the thing: it's not just the people in your database; it's their friends, family, coworkers. So there's so many things. There's so many people we can help. Let's just use an amazing program for what it is right now. We have time, right? So I can't stress that enough.
Absolutely.
What are some things what are some things you're doing as far as marketing on your side of things from Annie Mac point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is it's really not marketing. It's serving the community and our referral partners and our customers, our borrowers. But it's really getting the information out there to help them make informed decisions. It's being proactive by getting folks approved for an alternative program if necessary, so that they are able to buy. We hate to say you can't buy something you're not approved. We want to say, not right now, or here's another option. By doing that and working with our referral partners really closely, we can work as a team to make sure, again, everybody is spending their valuable time with approved buyers in the price range they should be looking at, with a full understanding of the loan type and the terms and those types of things. And again, pulling those people forward and just saying, if you fall under this change, if it affects you personally, maybe it makes sense. Not for everybody, but let's bring it up at least. Let's try and do something before that date. So that way, if you really want to buy, it may push your time frame up, but at least you're able to get into something if it's the right property and the right time for you.
Awesome. Did you want to mention anything about FHA?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the conventional side.
I don't know why that's so hard to say, but FHA.
Yes. Wait till I start talking about their other acronyms. But the FHA is the conventional side. This citizenship requirement does not apply yet to conventional loans. I don't know if it will or not. So just so there's no confusion, FHA and FHFA are completely separate. FHFA is the parent over Fannie and Freddie, which are conventional loans. They have not implemented this yet. Okay. However, they sent out 2 announcements yesterday. One of them said that they were closing what they call their SPCPs, which are their special purpose credit programs. SPCPs.
Smokes.
I know, another acronym for you. So all you need to know about that is, we all know that you can't do redlining. We all know that you can't target protected classes. Back in the 70s, Congress passed a rule that allowed Fannie and Freddie to create these special purpose credit programs to target lower income, potentially minorities, et cetera, and give them an ability to target them for good, meaning to offer programs with down payment assistance or grants or or lower down payment requirements, things like that. So it enabled Fannie and Freddie to create these special purpose credit programs to help people in those lower income tracts, et cetera. Now, after yesterday, that program has been ceased by the new director of FHFA. Now, the reality is there are not a ton of people out there that are using these programs. There are not a ton of people that are going to necessarily be affected. And there are, again, a lot of alternative programs that exist that we could probably get people approved for that would be close to or as beneficial for them. So it's not the sky is falling, but it's something to be aware of. The biggest concern that I've heard is that two programs, specifically Home Possible and Home Ready, Freddie and Fannie, would be affected by this. They are not. They're under a different kind of exception financing program. So those are not included in the SPCPs. So what was halted was not Home Ready and Home Possible. So those are still good for now, unless something changes.
Gotcha. And if you're hearing this and you're not a lender or a real estate agent, you're just like a borrower, you're like, what are all these letters? What does all this mean? Just contact your lender, have a conversation. So we're not trying to alienate you. We just really want to get this out there to let our business partners, loan officers, branch managers, mortgage companies aware of what's happening, just so they can take action and help people. We want to get people into home ownership, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. So
exactly.
That's cool that it doesn't affect those Home Possible, Home Ready. That's nice. So
yeah, that was a big concern for a lot of people. Again, I would just caution everybody. Again, completely apolitical. There are changes that are happening. So the more you can partner with people that are able to give you this information on an up-to-date basis and let you know how it might affect you or your buyers, if you're a realtor, I would strongly urge you to do that, because we're going through some flux here, and it doesn't do us any good to stick our head in the sand. We really want to be a support to our buyers and our borrowers and our sellers. So the way to do it is with good information, so you can make good decisions and serve them the best way you can.
Awesome. Jason, I appreciate being here. Any final words that we should talk about on this topic?
I don't believe so. Just keep your eyes open, and every challenge presents opportunities. So look for the opportunities here, and don't get down. Everybody's going to be selling that same product off of the store shelf. So we're all in it together. So reach out to your partners. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions, and let's do what's right for ultimately the client and the customer. So
absolutely. Yeah. So follow, do me a favor. If you listen to this, you hear this, follow Jason at Jason Claskin on LinkedIn. I got it right there on the screen. It's scrolling. So, and if you want any documents, he sent me a bunch of documents the other day. He said, go ahead and connect with them and then DM, say, hey, can you send me those documents that are from HUD and from the different things there's a bunch of different documents that he has that he can share with you. So you can have those. I think the only thing I'm going to add, Jason, is like the more educated we are with our consumers, the more opportunity we're going to have, because we're teaching, we're educating, and we all know that the ones that are teaching, the ones that are educating, are the ones that people come to and want to be a part of and want to refer to, because you're educating the consumer. So I think it's very valuable what you're doing here and what you do for your team. And so I applaud you for that, man. Yeah, it's an honor to call you a friend and a business partner, my friend.
Right back at you as well.
All right, everybody. So do get educated. If connect with Jason, and without further ado, I hope everybody has an amazing rest of their day on Friday, an amazing weekend. And if you are not part of, I'll just give one little plug here if you don't mind, the Redder Morning Show. I'm going to have Jason on the Redder Morning Show with us as well. We're going to do some really cool stuff. So that is I'm going to just put it up on the screen real quick, at the reddermorningshow.com. It's right above there too, right over there somewhere. So just want to make sure we meet every single Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern. So there's about 100+ of us now hanging out and getting educated, get fired up, and just a great way to start the day. So reddermorningshow.com. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys. Jason, thank you so much for your time today. As always, you're awesome. Have an amazing day.
Thanks, everybody.